All right. So this week, I've made myself available for 2 different times for the group meeting, and they were both canceled. The last one being today. And I even took off work early to be able to come to the meeting. So if I don't get credit for not being in a group meeting, I will be very upset this week because I did do my part and made myself available for the group meeting, and they were canceled because things did come up. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through these real quick. And in the first one, is going to propose a null hypothesis to be able to test in the chi-square. And my hypothesis was the green is dominant and the inflated is recessive. I calculated my chi-square data. I came to 10.02 with a degree of freedom of 3, which is a 0.01 probability. And so it was rejected. And so the new one I said is that green is dominant and that constrictive is also dominant. And so I'll have to go through and test that one as well and see if that does correspond along with the data. And the second one says based on what we learned in class is going to be co-dominant because it does show the white and the black in the fur. And the part B is it's going to be BS, BS, and then it's going to be all little b's. It's going to be 1/2 shaker black and white females and 1/2 black non-shaker males. And then when I did the chi-square analysis of the data that was given, it came up to 12.9963, which was rejected. And so I did reject that the hypothesis that it was an X dominant, and I proposed that it would be an autosomal dominant. 3, it says A, so what's the probability? It's 243 over 1048576. And what's the probability that 8 offsprings will be 5? It's going to be 0.08%. There's not a very high chance that all those would happen. And the probability, if that's saying it was just 1 over 4. And what's the last one is saying that it's going to be 9 over 256, the probability. 4, I said for A, it's autosomal dominant on the chart. B, I said it's Y-linked because only the males were effective, but it's going to be it's a Y-linked dominant because it doesn't skip at all. C is autosomal recessive. D is Y-linked recessive because it does skip generations. E, I said X-linked recessive. And in the blanks, it's 5A is the product probability rule, while the goodness of fit. B is X-linked recessive, and while the trait follows X-linked inheritance. C is sum rule. D is independent. E is autosomal recessive, and it follows Y-linked inheritance. F is an observation, is typically low, because when you do it in humans, you can't really just have lots of kids in the same thing in time. It does the sample that you can draw from is always small. You can only observe certain things. Unlike the flies where you could have so many. And then G is the degrees of freedom is the phenotype class is -1. And most of the chapter is actually just done by the formulas that were given in the PowerPoint and calculating the math and pulling it up. And that's going to be everything, and that's going to be it.